Hey, the purposes for this video are for entertainment and criticism. Take it, leave it, you do you. This video is not to give you an excuse to harass or bully the user in question, so do not treat it like it is. We do not condone witch hunting or harassment, so don't do it. Thank you, and enjoy the video.
Hello everybody, I'm Yuji.
And I'm Muffin.
And welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be looking at an Undertale character by Sky the Dragon Wolf, but first, sprites.
Today's sprites were made by unknown user.
We don't know who made these.
I apologize.
We lost the email these were sent in. I'm sorry. But they're cute! Thank you!
If these are yours, please come forward in the comments.
And starting off with the looks.
This is cute. I'm kind of confused as to what exactly it is, but it does seem like it would fit within the universe. And I like that you added a background. This is very nice.
I do think this character is really cute. Anyways, that's it for the looks. We're moving on to the bio.
Basic info. Name, Velvet. Gender, genderless. They, them. Age, 8. Species / what are they? Peppercore. I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is either. I'm going to assume it's a fan-made species, in which case I would like some info on that species.
Soul color, white. Sexuality, asexual. Battle info, attack 2, defense 4, experience 10. Power / attacks, needles, string, hands. Fighting style, needles, similar to any kind of bullet attacks. Strings, the string is usually attached to a single needle that will sweep across, creating a border. And hands. Velvet's hands will disappear from their image and will appear at either side of the box. The hands will expand out and then clap together.
Thanos clap!
Relationship info. Friends with Echo Flowers, Bays.
There's a stash link too, we'll show that on screen right now.
Molesmalls. Neutral with Temmie, Washua, Small Bird. Enemies with Mulebug.
I don't know.
Personality. Personality towards humans. Generally friendly and mostly quiet. They don't want them to become mad towards them. Personality towards strangers. Very quiet and mostly to themselves. They tend to avoid strangers, but if greeted by one, they will give a response. Personality towards acquaintances. They aren't as open as they are with friends, but they aren't as afraid to strike up a conversation. But it's usually about something other than themselves. Personality towards friends. Usually quite playful and open, but can become annoying after a while. On one hand, I feel like we got to know quite a bit about your character, but on the other hand, those were pretty short descriptions. I might want some more detail, at least for the friends part. Strengths. Caring, adventurous, patient. Weakness, shy, towards others who are not friends. Naive, does not like pressure. Flaws. Gullible, illiterate, pest. Likes. Echo flowers, critters, the stars. Talking with friends, Temmie flakes. Their reflection. Listening to the water. Exploring, sewing, crystal flies.
Which there's also a stash link to. We'll show the image on screen now.
Dislikes, books, fighting, quiches, the color pink, undying. They dislike how violence is their first solution.
Wrong there.
Crab apples and nice cream. Fears, drowning. Appearance, eye color, orangish red. Clothes, a very light blue cloak with a gray stripe. A dark sea green infinity scarf with an orange plastic gem and a dark sea green rain boots. Skin, a lightish orange with darker orange patches on their legs and hands. Height 4'4", weight 63 pounds. Other, a skeletal tail that was fitted through what looks like a rip. They also have a mouth similar to the eye color that they can make appear or disappear at will. Other info, alignment, neutral good. Goals or purpose, to be able to see and feel proper rain, also to try to be a bit more outgoing. I kinda like that goal. Items, an echo flower. It seems to echo with cheerful laughter with a child's voice speaking not too soon after. That should be T-U-O-O. A sewing needle. Can you believe with such a tiny needle you can make the most beautiful of things? Spoken lines when interacted with. Do you know why I like to talk to echo flowers? They always seem to remember what I say, even if it's only for a few seconds. I love the sound of the water. It's really soothing. Sewing is really fun. You get to make all sorts of fun little things. Backstory. Velvet has lived within Waterfall his entire... I thought they were they, them. So you might want to stick with one pronoun or another. 8 years of life. Never once adventuring outside of it.
Also, this brings up a question. He fears drowning, yet he lives in the water area.
like the water-specific area.
That's an interesting place to live for someone who's afraid of drowning. They vaguely do remember their parents, but is not really sure of where they could be, and never really had it on his mind to search for them because they felt within patience that their parents would return. Velvet spends most of his days in water, usually talking with the echo flowers or with mold smalls. The echo flowers seem to have a really good memory of what they say because they seem to repeat right away what they have said to them. The mold smalls, on the other hand, are very quiet, but that doesn't prevent Velvet from attempting to start a conversation with them, regardless if they respond or not. Besides conversing with their friends, Velvet has grown a love for sewing. They usually adventure around Waterfall in hopes of finding any sort of discard fabric to turn into a pretty little piece of art, or even a little plushie to keep them company. While on these little adventures, they usually take breaks and play with their reflection, laughing as it copies their every little move. They usually avoid the signs that lead to the answer of the puzzles in Waterfall, mostly because they can't really read what they say, and if they can't read it, it can't be that important, right? Over time, they have learned how to do the puzzles from watching others, and even though they aren't the smartest monster in the underground, they do have somewhat of a memory. If Velvet ever gets stuck on solving one of these puzzles, they usually run off to find Baze, who is also a fabricor, but is not related to Velvet in any family way. Baze usually is the one who gets annoyed most by Velvet, always having to help him solve things, or stop them from falling into the river because they decided it was a good idea to chase a crystal fly near them. Even through all of this, Blaze does have a bit of a soft spot for Velvet. It's almost like having a little brother around. Even though they can be annoying, he does enjoy their company. Velvet is not one for fighting. In any situation, they would most definitely want to avoid it at all costs. It's mostly why they have a strong dislike for mold bug. Velvet could be wandering about looking for some company and come across a mold small, but the second they approach the mold small, they would transform and try to attack them. Normally, monsters don't attack each other, but this mold bug can't seem to tell the difference between Velvet and a human. It's probably because they don't really have eyes, but who actually knows? Luckily enough, Woshua tends to appear to help spare Velvet from a slimy doom. If any slime does get on his robe, Woshua usually helps clean them up. There are a few other monsters in the waterfall that Velvet has grew either acquainted with or befriended. One of these monsters is Small Bird, the bird that carries anyone over the disproportionately small gap. Velvet actually enjoys the small ride the bird gives him across the gap, even if it may take quite a long time. They have the patience to endure it. The other monster Velvet is acquainted with are the Temmies. It's not very often they go to Temmie Village, but when they do, they usually spend quite a bit of gold on Temmie Flakes. Velvet normally doesn't eat the colorful pieces of papers that are contained within the Temmie Flakes. Usually he plays around with them to see if he can make a little picture out of them. Most monsters would think it would be a waste to buy Temmie Flake, but Velvet knows that it's going to a good cause, and they want to be able to know that they helped someone with their goal.
Oh, that's it for the backstory! We're moving on to final thoughts.
So, that wasn't horrible. Interesting character, but it all felt very short. Really short.
I do think we have a blank Undertale character sheet, but you might want to let me update it first, because boy, have I been looking back at some of our character sheets and going, why did anybody let me post this as garbage? But yeah, this was very short. You left the backstory off on an interesting place as well. I feel like we could have gotten more out of it.
Definitely.
And I would like a bit more information on the species in general, since it's a fan-made one. But other than that, I think this character's pretty cute. I like him. Them. I like them.
Them, which also it seems like you yourself can't decide if it's he or them. So that's one thing I definitely would change about this, and maybe a longer backstory. But besides that, I don't know. I like this character.
Anyways, guys, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I'm Yuji.
And I'm Muffin.
And we are Constructive Criticism.
We'll see you in the next video.